Have you ever heard of a wholehearted boundary? Most people think that a boundary means, please don't do this. I don't like it when you do this. Can you please not? That is not a boundary. That is just begging for your needs without making it clear what the boundary actually is. One of the number one defenses that somebody is going to say to you when they have crossed a line or they have hurt you or they have done something that is not to your standard is, I didn't know. I didn't know that was a thing and I didn't know that mattered to you, or whatever that happens to be. Whatever it comes out to be is going to sound something like that. When you have a wholehearted boundary in place, after that comes up, there is no grounds for miscommunication because you have hit every angle of the boundary. I'm going to teach you how. Number one, people will take you as seriously as you take the situation. So if you just kind of lackadaisically bring something up to somebody while there's distractions and there's other stuff going on, that's exactly how they're going to receive it. Lackadaisical, there's other distractions, I may or may not do that thing you asked me to do. But if you wait until you have somebody in an isolated position and you've asked them to have a conversation that's important to you, and you make eye contact with them and there's no distractions, and you say, hey, this thing is really important to me and I'm going to discuss this with you one time so that we're clear, because I need to state a boundary so that this doesn't continue to happen. Number two, once you have them in a state where they're willing to talk to you, it's leaving emotions out of it and having a very neutral conversation about facts. You state to them, this is what happened. This is what I observed from my truth of what happened, and this is how it affected me. This is how it made me feel. It's not about being right or wrong. I want you to acknowledge your action made me feel this way, which is what's instigating me to have this conversation with you. You are welcome, but not required, to invite them into their perspective as well and saying, hey, am I missing something? Can you express to me what your intention was behind making that decision behind the thing that impacted me this way? Number three is to acknowledge that the only person you have control over is you. So when you create a boundary that you're now going to put on the table because everything else has already been expressed and put out there, now once the boundary gets put out there, the boundary isn't for them. The boundary is for you. You get to express to them, I will not tolerate this thing again. Or if you do not do this thing, this will be the result from me. This will be the move that I am then forced to make that you chose. So then when you've stated your boundary and you've been very clear in every detail of what that looks like, because you want them to win, you want progress, you want them to succeed, you don't want to set people up for failure. The reason you're setting up a boundary is that you hope they follow it. You hope they honor it. They hope that you see you and say, this isn't just like a fence up. This is a line in the sand where they're inviting me in to know them and to love them better. And if they receive it that way, then they'll make changes. Once you have stated your boundary and your expectations to them moving forward, you then have to leave it up to them verbally to say, hey, do you agree with this boundary or not? Do you understand fully what I am expressing to you, and do you accept that? And it's up to them if they accept that or not. If they don't want to accept that boundary, there's your answer right there. Once they accept the boundary and they say, okay, I see you, I acknowledge you, you know what? Yes, I accept the boundary and I'm going to change moving forward. We are not going to deal with that thing again. The hardest part of all of this, you guys, is not making the boundary. It's upholding the boundary once it is crossed. Once the boundary is crossed, the main punch move of this entire thing is you have to uphold what you said you were going to do. You can build a fence to keep people out, but if you let people keep hopping the fence, there was no reason to build it in the first place. So when you create these boundaries, make sure you uphold them when they're crossed. That is your power move.